give my informative speech on obesity and in particular how it affects America. I'm going to also inform you about how to correctly identify or define obesity and what are the causes. I thought it was important to understand obesity and to inform you because in 2004, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention ranked obesity as the #1 health risk facing America today. And this is because when you're obese, you increase the risk for heart disease, obesity, and metabolic syndrome, which are all life-threatening diseases and conditions. And because of that, over 400,000 deaths each year are caused by obesity and cost the national economy $122.9 billion annually through rehabilitation, insurance costs, and prevention. When it comes to defining obesity, there's always a misconception between just being simply overweight and obese. Overweight in terms of numbers, as defined by the National Institute of Health, is 10% over your recommended weight or the BMI greater than 25. And then to become obese, you have to have 30% over your recommended weight or a BMI greater than 30. And BMI is a formula that's used to assess your weight relative to height, so it's like a correlation. And to show you guys how to do that, there's calculators online if you don't want to use a big drawn-out formula that are regulated by the government, so they're reliable. If you're going to use my statistics, if I was 125, I'm 5 foot 5 inches tall, and I calculate my results, and I have a 20.8 BMI, which is a normal weight. And for me to become overweight, I would need to gain, I think, 25 pounds to be 150, and that would put me at 125, which I would be classified as overweight. And ultimately, to be obese, it would be 155 or 185 with a 55-pound gain, which would be at 130. So you can, if you go to like obesityamerica.org or other government sites, you can have access to the calculator. When it comes to causes of obesity, there's a lot of debate because ultimately it's usually just a combination of physiological and biological factors, or physiological and behavioral factors. For behavioral factors, it would just be like consuming more calories than your body can take in, which would be a diet high in fats and calories. And the imbalance between calories consumed and calories burned is just straight chemistry, and is usually caused by inactive lifestyle. And physiological factors such as genetic or hormone problems. There can be a genetic pattern in your family if your parents were overweight or obese and you have a predisposition to the disease. And hormonal problems such as thyroid disease, or the Endocrine Society, which is a government scientific institution, is doing research on hormones in relation to being able to burn calories. Now that you can accurately define obesity and identify its causes, to give you an idea of who's actually affected by this disease in America, if you take 3 people, one of them will be obese, one of them will be overweight, and one of them will just be normal weight. And when you're overweight, you have an increased chance of contracting obesity-related diseases and also obesity itself. So by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, it can be estimated that 66% of our population is at risk for this condition.